Well, hello everyone. We are live. Stay on target. How you guys doing?
Hey.
How you guys doing, Dustin, Nick?
Oh, we're pretty good. How are
Pretty
you,
good.
Dan?
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic. Yes.
Gotta get pumped.
Yeah, I gotta get pumped. It's a little late right now,
Pump
but
it
we
up.
are.
Pump up.
Nah.
No!
That's it.
I don't know why we always go to Arnold's talk.
You can't not go to Arnold.
I know, right? It's fun.
I don't
Good
think it
stuff.
was on the right camera there for a
Right.
minute, but that's okay. We're here
can
now,
hear us.
right?
Yeah, that's
Can you guys
fine.
see us?
Can you
You
hear
can
us?
see
See
us.
us?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Live YouTube world.
In your living room.
We
On your cell phone.
made it happen. I
Yeah.
believe we are live right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Well, let's hope so. Otherwise, this is just rambling.
Silly
Just-
banter.
Silly, witty banter.
Witty banter.
yeah, absolutely. Well, we're good. So we
This is
just
it.
watched chapter 5 of The Mandalorian.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to talk about that here in a minute. Full spoilers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Full
And,
spoilers. You've been warned.
You've been warned.
Yes, you've been completely
Forewarning.
warned. It was a great episode to watch together
Yeah.
and a good one to come down right after
Oh,
and
yeah.
do a live
Oh, yeah.
talk.
Yeah.
It was a great
I have thoughts.
one. Yeah, me too.
You have some thoughts, huh?
They're good
Yeah.
thoughts.
Even Friday night you have thoughts.
Even Friday night, I have thoughts.
Rest of the week, brain dead.
You guys have a
Really
good
the
week,
best
though?
time- It's the best time to go live. Friday
It is,
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
clearly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys have a good week then?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Not bad. It was busy. Well, not too busy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the days kind of dragged on, but other than that, I was fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like I live in Alaska because I go to work and it's dark,
yeah.
Yeah.
and I get home and it's dark.
Yeah.
I see very little sunlight.
Yes.
Yes.
The sadness sets in.
I
Definitely.
need to see the sun.
Well,
Look it's up in the sky. There are 3 suns.
3 suns. This is a new planet. That's a perfect tie-in to
Right.
the episode.
Yeah.
good call.
Actually is.
Wow.
Except for
Except
take
there was-
away
yeah, it
one
was
sun.
Just 2 suns.
Yeah. Well, we'll give you guys, in case you haven't seen the episode yet
Yeah.
and you're watching us live,
Yeah.
we'll say when we're going to go with spoiler talk.
Yeah.
There's like a annoying delay with these, so I'm taking them off.
All right.
As long as you guys can still hear us, and I think you can. Here it
Hopefully.
looks pretty good. All right.
You weren't stuttering that bad.
No.
There is actually a thing where it's called speech jamming,
Yeah.
and you put on headphones and it's a certain delay.
Oh, yeah.
And
so you
it-
can't.
you
You literally can't talk.
Think, talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. It's
Oh,
funny.
my goodness.
Because you like,
It's
hear
funny.
yourself half
Check
a
it out.
second later.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
it, like,
That's what
it messes with
that's
you.
what it started sounding like. It was about a half second. So everything you say, I felt like I was wanted to slow down.
Too fast.
Didn't seem that-
Everybody's like, "Is this stream active?"
Yeah.
Right. It looks synced, but they're all
Something's,
glitchy.
something's off. Yeah,
Oh, fun stuff.
fun stuff. So do we want to jump into the episode? Do we want to talk about anything else, or
Yeah.
just jump right in?
You guys,
Jump on
excited
in.
about? It's December now. I think the last time we filmed, it was November.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was.
and so it's December now.
December 6th.
There's plenty of snow outside, and it's that time of year where
Yeah.
in a couple of weeks we're gonna go to the movie theater.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch a new Star Wars
New
movie.
Star
Yeah.
Wars.
Wow.
baby.
New Star Wars.
It's hard to believe.
Yeah.
It's been 4 years since The Force Awakens came out. I remember being overly,
Yeah.
incredibly excited.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
We
It was
told the
great.
story about how we got usurped by a story about snowfall.
Snowfall.
In December, they instead of running a story about The Force Awakens tying our Star Wars fan film in, they ran a story about snow
Snow
Yeah.
because oh my goodness, we hadn't seen snow,
Right.
but
in Michigan.
in Michigan, yeah.
Crazy.
So yeah, it's all good, but now it's
How many times did you see Force Awakens in theaters?
three. I think I saw it 3 times, maybe four, maybe
Okay.
3. How about you? How
I
about you?
think, I think I only saw it twice.
Twice, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it 6 times in
6
theater.
Good
times.
grief,
I,
Dustin.
I was shooting for 7, but didn't quite make it to
Oh
the
my
7th
gosh.
one.
Yeah.
because I wanted to say because episode 7, I wanted to see it 7 times.
Right.
I don't know. I was
7
so
times.
hyped for that movie.
Yeah.
It was.
Gosh, it's been 4 years.
It's been that long. Wow, that's crazy.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
was
good-
still
it's
in
a good one.
college.
yeah. You were, yeah.
was, yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. I should have. Was that my last year? Yeah. I think it was
Dustin, you
my
didn't even have any kids.
I didn't have kids then.
junior year.
Just crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
We're going into a lot of.
We're going into a
Detail
lot of
about
stuff.
our
A
lives.
lot of
We're not
behind the
even
scenes.
Maybe
into
we
the
should get to the
yet.
episode.
Real life story, yeah. Well, thank you guys for watching this live with us.
Yeah.
If you're on, maybe there's nobody on watching us right now,
Yeah,
but I
maybe
think
we're
there
just
might be
talking to
somebody, at
ourselves.
least 1 or 2 people. So we're going to have a good time. And I think right now we're going to go into this spoiler episode.
Yeah.
Quick thing.
Yeah.
If whoever's watching, if you have any questions, just ask us in the chat, and we'll try to get to your questions, and hopefully we can answer them because we like being involved with everybody who's watching. It's cool.
Yeah. It's
That's
a lot
the
of
fun
fun.
thing of going live is we can have a conversation together.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Yes.
we're looking forward to answering any questions maybe near the end, and we're gonna give our favorite Star Wars films at the end of this show. Probably be about an hour here today. We're gonna go and give our favorite Star Wars movies by the trilogy series. So we'll talk about which one is our favorite and give that away at the end. So that'll be kind of fun to check out in a little bit
so
here.
stick around.
Yeah.
Stick around.
And if you are watching this live, and give the channel a subscription here, Hawk Studio Productions, and like the video if you want to do all that good fun stuff.
All that jazz.
All that jazz. Yeah.
Jazz hands.
Jazz hands.
Oh man, this is crazy.
Dooba-dooba.
But it's definitely fun doing it live.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
We've done it live every other time. We didn't edit and cut any. I mean, we didn't cut stop.
anything. Yeah,
It's just-
we didn't edit it. It
Yeah.
was still,
it's-
but it's nice, like I said, to have the conversation going.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Cool. Well, we're gonna stay on target now, and we're
Yeah.
gonna jump
Stay on
into.
target.
Stay on target.
Loosen up.
They came from behind.
Okay, well, we watched tonight. Maybe you've watched it. Maybe you haven't watched it yet. Spoiler talk coming right now on Chapter 5 of The
Go watch it.
Mandalorian. And, go watch it if you haven't seen
watch
it
it.
yet.
Yeah.
Or cut out now on this video, or just mute it and just watch us talk.
Yeah.
I don't know who would ever want to do that.
Right.
But, oh, man.
Just watch.
Just watch us talk. And
no
then,
audio.
Yeah,
Oh my
right. Or
gosh.
pause it now.
I
Go
could
watch
see
it
them
and come back.
listening and not watch.
Right.
Yeah, I can see that
Instead
too.
of-
But
Yeah,
if
but
they
the
haven't
other
seen The
way.
Mandalorian Chapter 5 yet, they don't want to hear
They just-
anything.
yeah. Maybe they
Yes,
just like
exactly.
they just like watching people talk. Like,
Did something go wrong with the audio?
Good.
Yeah.
Did it cut out?
exactly.
oh no, it's muted. Oh.
Yeah. So this is fresh on our brains
Yep.
because we
Yeah.
just watched the episode, and just like the first episode one, I don't think we've been together since we watched the first
Yeah.
chapter of Mandalorian.
Mhm.
So we're the first, the beginning of the end of the first season here. We're
Yeah.
nearing the end in Chapter 5 out of 8.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So-
we'll have 3 episodes after this,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
which I think they're going to start their. I'm hoping they're going to start their final arc
Yeah.
or something
Yeah, I think
for
they
the
will.
season.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
And it's interesting too because the the next one, or not next one, but the one where the Rise of Skywalker comes out, they're playing that one on Wednesday
Yep, they're
It's-
changing the time.
instead of Friday, so that it doesn't conflict with Rise of Skywalker.
Right.
So that's going to be interesting. I wonder if there's going to be a tie-in.
I think there is.
th-
I read an article
did
that
you?
there was.
Okay, yeah.
I mean,
so,
I read the title of it. So,
so they'll probably tie in together, and that'll be interesting. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing that
yeah.
if it's done well.
Right. Yeah.
I think it will be.
Let's
but
hope so.
But yeah,
yeah,
that'll
for
be
sure.
interesting. And then one episode after that. So that's why if they tie into Rise of Skywalker, and then they have one episode after that, so then
Right.
it could be
Yeah.
that's why they almost had to have an episode after, because the tie-in happens. They couldn't give that away for the
Right.
last episode.
Yeah.
What do you think the chances of them tying together something in Rise of Skywalker with The Mandalorian? You think there's a good chance of that?
Yeah.
With-
Above
yeah.
50%
I mean,
chance of them
oh,
tying
yeah.
something into the Rise?
Well, he said he read an article that
Yeah. Oh, you
they're
read an
gonna be
article.
tying something
Yeah.
in.
And that's why they changed what day they were showing it.
Oh, okay.
I
Gotcha.
think. I think
That's-
that's what it is. Yeah.
based on Nick's research here,
Yeah, based on
empirical
my-
research,
Our
Scrolling
limited
through. Yeah.
research.
we'll take it as fact.
Yeah. I'm a
Clear.
research
No.
wizard.
Don't take anything we say as fact.
Right. Yeah.
We had
Fact check.
Courtney H here said, excited to see you guys live. Stream looks great. We'll try to catch up. She hasn't seen this episode yet, so
Oh.
she's tuning out. So she's
Oh.
jumping
Oh,
out. But
okay.
thanks,
Yeah.
Courtney, for
Good
watching.
call.
Thanks for
Yeah.
watching for a minute. Sorry.
She said Disney Plus is great. I agree. It's been a lot of fun
Yeah.
seeing a bunch of all the content they have on there. They're doing a good
Yeah.
job. Of course, with The Mandalorian, brilliant episode. Brilliant show.
And The Mandalorian is now the #1
Yep.
show in
Yeah.
I
the
was gonna
world.
bring that up.
Yeah, we just read that.
were-
yeah.
But we
Yeah.
weren't. I wasn't sure. Was that just streaming, or was that like not every show ever? It's just streaming.
I
right?
believe right now what the context was in the streaming wars right now. It beat Stranger Things
Yep.
and The Crown or something on Netflix.
Oh,
But
okay.
and Netflix is the other big gun. So if they can beat a Netflix
Those are,
show,
those are big for sure.
The cool thing about the streaming wars is that you can watch all of them. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
if
Even
you have Netflix and you have
simultaneously if you wanted
yes,
to.
that's true. You can watch one on your phone and one on your TV.
2 eyes on each.
Multitasking.
Or
Wow.
One eye on each.
2 eyes.
2 eyes on
What
each.
are you? What kind of species?
Four
are
eyes.
I'm Batman. What are you? 4
Wow.
eyes. Oh.
you? 4 eyes. 4 eyes. You need glasses to see. Wasn't even clever.
Was
Claudia
clever.
Chance and Meatballs.
Yeah, was it the
That
first
movie.
Cloudy?
Oh man.
Yeah, that was the first
Oh
Cloudy.
man, that's a good movie.
Such a funny movie.
It's a great one.
Oh,
And those directors
yeah.
Yep.
almost directed Solo.
They almost
They
They did direct part of
they
Solo.
directed
It
most
just
of
didn't
work out. Creative
differences.
Wow.
Eek. We'll have
So
to
we'll
talk
see.
about that on
Oh,
another
yeah.
episode.
Yeah. It's a whole other episode.
That is a whole.
Nick's gonna do some research.
Yeah.
And he's gonna report back to us on what happened in that situation.
Yep.
You go find out, Nick.
Okay, I'll do
It
it
went
right now.
badly.
It didn't
It
go
went
well.
holy.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
cool.
Cool.
Well, are we gonna get in spoiler talk?
Yeah,
then?
yeah. You want to
let's do
spoil
it.
this thing?
All right. So if you haven't seen the episode,
Chapter 5,
one
yeah.
last time,
Look away now.
One last time, we're
Tune
gonna go
out.
Spoiler alert.
Yes.
Spoiler talk.
Spoiler alert talk.
Talk.
Spoiler
talk.
alert talk.
Yes. All right. What'd you guys think?
Chapter 5. Oh my goodness, the
Yeah.
opening 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So cool.
Right. What did you say? It was a billion zillion.
A billion zillion
Better
times
time.
better, in my opinion, than Chapter
Yeah.
4's opening 2 minutes.
Yeah, I would.
I mean, the intensity was right there, though. I mean,
Right.
you're in the middle of a battle, a space battle,
Yeah.
right
Space
at the
battle.
it starts, and it's just kaboom. You're in the
Yep.
ship with the Mando. He's running away from
Who
somebody.
knows?
Yeah.
They don't-
Another
I don't
bounty
think
hunter.
they're
another
obviously.
another bounty
Yeah.
hunter or something, and yeah. Oh man, that I want to go watch it again because
Right.
those first 2 minutes, just the shots,
Yeah.
how they did that,
Yeah.
and it was just one
Great
ship
editing.
against one ship. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you see many just mano ship against ship. There's always
Right.
some other battle going on or other ships fighting around it or something.
We haven't seen a mano y mano one like that. I don't believe since
Maybe the prequels
since the prequels
when they were chasing.
Well, there
Yeah,
was there was a Django
Yeah.
and
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a pretty epic.
That was good.
That was
and they
really
had a
good.
sweet sound bomb.
Yes.
Sonic Charge.
That sound. Yeah.
That was awesome.
so cool. I
yeah,
love
that was
sound.
a cool cold open. Sorry, if you
Yeah.
want to keep talking about cold open. Or
Yeah,
Nick.
no, that's it. It was
What were your-
amazing first 2 minutes.
What were
Yeah.
your thoughts, Nick?
Oh yeah, I thought the same thing.
Done.
That's it. I'm out, people. Okay.
I'm ahead
No,
out.
yeah, it was great. It was, like Dan said, a billion zillion times better than the cold open of the previous episode, which I felt like we were watching National Geographic because it focused on the krill. So
Yeah.
yeah, it felt more Star Wars in this one.
Yeah.
It really like just hooked you in right away. And yeah, what were your thoughts, Dustin?
Yeah, I agree to a certain extent. I have a few things for the opening that I didn't absolutely love.
Yeah.
But I liked it, though. It was definitely felt very Star Wars. I like the fact that they're paying homage to the original with how they're shooting it.
Yeah.
Because you can tell they're definitely shooting it a lot more. And I know they've talked about it like the original trilogy when it comes to the starfighter battle.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
models
Yeah.
flying, and they filmed that like they did in the original.
Yeah.
Yep.
The only thing, though, for me is that it was good and I liked it, but I kind of wish there would have been a little bit more polish on the starfighter, or at least a context of where they were at in the stars.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
that's why I think a lot of the times whenever they do starfighter battles,
They anchor it with something in the distance. That you know.
distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that's probably one of the only. It's a nitpick. This is a very
Yeah.
nitpick. I still really liked it because I liked the mano y mano dog fight. That was cool,
Yeah.
and it showed again Mando's not perfect,
Right. Yeah.
but he's still good, and he's good enough to get out of the situation,
Right.
which was cool. I did like that. The other thing I didn't absolutely love was that the other guy used his line from the first
Yeah.
one,
Right. He stole his line.
which for me I was kind of thrown off. One of you guys said maybe it was a common bounty hunter thing or a
Right,
bounty
yeah.
hunters guild line,
yeah.
but
But
it
like right
felt
after
too aware of itself.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the show felt almost too aware of itself.
Okay.
And I was like, that actually honestly took me out of the scene
that,
for a moment.
yeah.
I was
it
like,
was a
Okay.
little cheesy.
I was like, what?
It
And
felt
then
it felt a little cheesy.
I mean, then he blew him up and he said, "That's my line."
Yeah.
So it was another
That's
kind
my
of
line.
one-liner
Yeah.
that they were going for.
Right.
But
Yeah.
it just was slightly too far for me. Still good. I still liked it. I thought the ship was cool, and I liked the
Yeah.
fact that they showed a little bit more of what the Razor Crest can do.
Yeah.
Yep.
He put it into, what did you say? He put it into maneuver mode
Yeah,
or something?
basically, because he
yeah.
like flipped the
It
switch
was-
and he was like,
Yeah. All of a sudden now.
It's pretty much on its
Yeah.
last leg, and it goes into maneuver mode.
maneuver mode.
yeah,
Yeah.
an auxiliary power.
Auxiliary power.
Exactly.
When he
It's like,
switched
oh,
it.
everything's going out. Oh, better switch on the auxiliary power.
Yeah,
You know.
Of the auxiliary power.
yeah, that was good. I did like it, but I just think it could have used something to anchor it in the
Yeah.
background.
Yeah.
We had a comment here from Alessandre Descartes, very French sounding. What, you didn't find the blue shrimp harvesting fascinating from the 4th chapter there?
Well, no, I mean, yeah, it was fascinating.
Yeah,
you guys
yeah.
didn't like it as much, and I didn't absolutely love it, but I didn't really mind it just for the fact that Star Wars, in a lot of ways, it's supposed to be similar to Earth in some ways, but there's
Yeah.
always one thing. It's almost that one thing that makes it, that anchors it in the Star Wars universe. So the blue krill,
Yeah.
I think it was okay, and at least the shot looked really good in
Right,
the beginning.
yeah.
You know, you thought it like National Geographic usually
Yeah.
has really good looking
Yeah.
stuff.
That's true, yeah.
It was just, I think it was just the fact that we didn't start with the Mandalorian,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
and we didn't know these characters. It was another cold open, and it just didn't feel. They only had but then they didn't have a lot to anchor it in to Star
Wars, yeah.
So it was just
Yeah.
the one thing, and
Yeah.
then I think they should have built on that a little bit more in that scene with those people.
Right.
You know, even if they would have had like again an alien in that
Yep. Right.
community.
Yeah.
I think if they would have had an alien in that community,
Yes.
that would have
Yeah.
helped. Instead of the enemies all being just aliens, you know,
Yeah.
Right.
or like
yeah.
pirates or something.
Yeah.
Whatever they were, but
Bulldog.
Anyway.
And again, it relied on human actors, and
Yeah.
so you're like, oh, and I didn't feel like personally the first 2 minutes was like that gripping,
Right.
acting wise for me.
from the first,
Yeah.
from the last episode,
Yeah, from the last
Chapter
episode.
4, yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
mean. But
yeah,
anyway,
we could talk about that for days.
Yeah.
this one
we
was
did last time.
this one stepped out. This is what I like to see in a Mandalorian show,
Oh, yeah.
cold open, if that's what
Yeah.
it's called, before the title card.
Yeah.
Oh man, just jumped right in. So
Someone getting blown
it
up.
just set the stage.
yeah.
It just set the
Kablooey.
stage for. Oh my goodness, this is going to
Yeah.
be a good episode.
yeah,
It was
action.
intense.
Yeah.
You like the action.
action,
There was action
yeah.
in the last one, but
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. It didn't
Not
start
the
off with that.
Mando.
Yeah.
Didn't really
like
start off
seeing
with
the
that.
Mando
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Yoda.
And we saw this is the first space battle of
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And every episode you've seen his ship flying through space, but you haven't seen any other ships flying through space, I don't
Right.
think. And you haven't seen any other ships shooting at his ship. I also liked just him crawling around in his ship after you get disabled. You know,
Yeah.
he's just like click, click, flip,
just
flip,
trying to
and then
figure it
out.
Baby Yoda just hanging out. I like the
Yeah.
breadth of that after that, because normally like, oh, it's over with, cut.
you
you
can
know.
do that. Yeah.
I did cut actually after he shot him, but then it came back, right? Or did it?
I don't know.
Wherever the sequence was,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he had a few minutes on the ship where he was just flipping stuff on and trying to figure it out, and then all of a sudden the planet shows up. I think it was after the title card, and then all of a sudden, like there's this planet in the distance. You're like,
Right.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
that was kind of
like he
weird.
was just
I
kind
was
of like floating through space, like you said.
there's
Something about,
nothing around.
like nothing anchored
And then,
his position
yeah,
in space.
Auxiliary powers up, and suddenly Tatooine.
It's funny though,
Oh,
because
yeah.
George Lucas, all those those battles were based on World War II fighting.
Yeah.
Dogfights.
Dogfights.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
some
it's just
footage,
interesting because there's been debates about like, well, what is really scientific in the Star Wars universe? Is there like some science that backs up what's happening? You always wonder like what those ships can and cannot do. It still look like
Yeah.
an Earth-based star fight or dogfight in space, but it's like what is anchor? What can they really
Well,
do with
yeah.
the right thrusters and
Yeah.
That
so it still feels like a dogfight in space. So you just believe it though, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
we could open a can of worms on just
Oh, yeah, we could
space
just go-
fighting in general, just for the fact that
Yeah.
there's no air resistance.
right.
Yeah.
But
What is
how
up
he-
and down?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Right.
really in space you
Right.
could literally go any direction
That's what I'm
if
saying.
you
He's-
have the right.
Yeah.
And there was nothing to anchor it. That's what I mean. So he
Yeah.
could be going up and
He could
Yeah,
be
you
going
don't know what
completely sideways.
like there's no G force. I don't know. Maybe there is. I don't
Right,
know. Where's
yeah.
where's the gravity coming from?
I don't
G is
know.
gravity.
I think we've
You know?
opened something that we don't want
Yeah.
to open.
Kaboom!
Welcome to Interstellar Talk.
This is where I need to insert the graphic of just explosions on the
Right.
screen.
We're blowing our own minds here, people.
Oh man, yeah. Total sarcasm there on my part for the Alisande, this French person. LOL, didn't care much for episode 4.
Okay.
This last episode was a lot better in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Sorry if we miss any sarcasm.
Some sarcasm.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're hard.
No, I got the
it.
sarcasm.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wasn't sure, but
No. I could tell that it was because there was like a cry face at the end of it.
Oh.
You know, it was the emoji that gave it
That
away,
was
but you
good.
guys
I
didn't
like
see that.
I like that.
And then Hawk Studio Productions, our producer over there, responded with a really cool comment. And it has a little fish, a little blue fish.
A little blue fish.
So, well done on
Nice.
finding that. We got another lady named Carla. How great to see you live tonight.
Oh yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Carla's happy to see us. Hi, Carla.
It's good to see you.
Yeah. If
Yes.
Everyone
could.
stare into the camera.
Everyone. Nick, you can get close to
dead
the camera
dude.
if you want.
Don't do it. I see you.
Oh, man. So we're still
on
spoiling the
target.
episode. Stay on target. Oh, man. This is fun. I don't know what the
right.
procedures are, but,
Yeah.
people do live videos. They look down at a comment, and they acknowledge people that are watching and
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
hi.
Which is
That's our
nice.
first ever one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
First ever few.
Our first ever live show with actual live
With-
commenters.
Yeah, live
Normally,
comment.
we're
I
just
like
sitting
that.
here, like, talking to each
Yeah.
other, and which is still fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. But it's nice to have other people.
I like the
Right,
comment.
yeah.
I like having
The
interaction.
community, yeah.
I like having interaction,
Yeah.
and then we can add to our conversation, and we get an idea of what others are feeling. Because most of the time we agree for the most part
Right,
on things. So it's nice to get some difference of opinion or people that agree
Yeah.
and just have maybe have
Exactly.
different thoughts. So
Yep.
anyway, so we got to the title.
Yeah, so titled
Screen.
it, and then whatever the sequence is, the next big reveal
Yeah.
is what's that planet floating off in space?
Yeah.
Right. And I already gave it away.
Yeah, you told it,
yeah.
but that's
Oh,
okay.
my
But I mean,
goodness, Nick.
spoiler,
I'm sorry.
spoiler.
I'm just so excited.
They jumped back to
That
Tatooine.
I was
right?
not expecting that.
I wasn't expecting it. I had read once again my
Your
insane,
sources.
my
Nick's
insane
source.
researching. I had read they were going back to an original planet,
Oh.
so I was kind of expecting Tatooine.
Which is something
Aha.
the movies have
Yeah.
not done.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Except for
exactly.
wait, did they go back to Yavin? I think in episode 7 they were at Yavin.
Yavin 4.
Yeah, they were.
No, Rogue,
Rogue
One,
One.
I guess. But
Rogue
Rogue
One,
One
yeah.
ties more directly into it.
Yeah, Rogue One. Was it not in episode 7? Yeah, but Rogue One was right
Okay,
in the same
sorry.
time frame.
Anyway.
But this
But
one,
yeah.
we're only 5 years removed. So when they mentioned Tatooine, you're like, my head starts spinning. I'm like, what's Tatooine?
possibilities.
Yeah, the possibilities in the Star Wars universe are humongous.
Humongous.
Well, it's
Yeah.
just such a huge
Endless.
That's such a huge thing. It's like you don't just throw Tatooine. I mean, haphazardly.
Right.
Tatooine really is basically the center, not of the galaxy.
It's
It's
the
the farthest thing
starting
from,
point.
but it's the starting point of the whole universe, Star Wars universe. I mean, Luke
Yeah.
Skywalker, Obi-Wan, Darth Vader,
Yeah,
really.
I mean-
Anakin.
Yeah.
This is a huge planet. I mean, this planet, a lot of things started here,
Yeah.
at least.
Well, and then
Yeah.
when he's
So it's crazy. Sorry, go ahead.
when he's landing at Mos Eisley Spaceport, it's the same shot from when him and Luke and Obi-Wan were up on the cliff talking about Mos Eisley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was looking at the city
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah.
It's almost like
Looking
they
down on
pulled
the
that
valley.
straight out of the film and just
Right.
put that right in.
Yeah.
That was good. I'll have to say I liked the callbacks,
Mhm.
but I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird tonight, but
You're
I
weird every
almost felt true.
It's because we're live.
It's because we're
Yeah.
live. No, but I almost felt like some of them were a bit heavy-handed.
Bit
Okay.
heavy-handed, bit too on the nose.
Just there was so many of them in this episode. It was
Yeah.
it felt a little heavy-handed for me. I still like them because I love the original trilogy, so
Yeah,
I still
yeah.
liked it. But it was getting to the point where it was almost starting to feel fan filmish to me,
Right.
and that's not necessarily a bad thing. We make fan films, so
Yeah.
I'm not saying
Yeah,
that's
we're
a
making
bad
fun of
thing.
ourselves now.
No, that's not a bad thing. I
We
just
always
Yeah.
do.
I just feel like maybe I don't know, budget stuff too plays into it. You got to be
Right.
careful. I feel like
Mhm.
whenever you do that.
Yeah.
I think slight nods are good. Like whenever they throw out like the phrases that not everybody's gonna catch, like Womp Rats or
Yeah.
Beggars Canyon,
Yep.
stuff like
Right.
that.
It's all the references to stuff that subtly ties in that you only catch it if you know it, and you
Yeah.
know
yeah,
they're not kind of like force feeding it to the fans
Right.
or whatever. But
Not
There was-
punching you in the face.
But
yeah,
there
they're
was,
not
like-
heavy-handedly smacking you in the face.
Here
there
you
was-
go. Boom.
I think there was more. I think there was more like nods and references in this episode more than the rest of the episodes, and maybe
Yeah.
Yeah.
the whole like
You're right.
I mean, there was just so many.
You're right.
It wasn't bad. I liked it, but still, it was just like, okay,
Yeah.
we get it.
Yeah.
kinda
Well, the
thing.
prequel droids that were there with the lady.
That's true. I like that they're tying in a little more of the prequels.
Oh yeah.
I'm not afraid to. I mean, I like the prequels. To be honest,
the
I like the
only
prequels.
one.
I grew up with the prequels, so they hit me at the right age.
Nick, what did you grow up with?
The originals on VHS.
I mean,
There you go.
that's what
I'm
we.
just kidding.
I'm
That's what we
actually
started
younger
off
than
with.
he is, though. So
Yeah, I know. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
That's what we started off. I mean, those were
Right,
my
yeah.
first Star Wars movies.
Oh,
But I'm just saying, like
The originals.
Sean the non-believer.
The
No,
originals? Yeah, no, the
we
originals
watched
on
the-
VHS.
We watched the originals
I think
so
the
much.
unedited.
Yeah.
I think before the
Yeah.
Yep.
special
The
editions.
special editions, yeah.
Played it so much it
The
didn't
audio-
play anymore.
Yeah.
It doesn't
and the
play. It's
audio
all
would
audio
go
cut.
warbly.
Yeah, it'd be like, wow,
on a VHS.
Yes, it's
Oh,
warbly.
man. Classic.
Classic
Yeah.
Star Wars.
No,
But yeah,
but
anyway,
the
so-
prequels. You like some of the stuff from the
I do.
prequels and the
I do.
references because it is George Lucas.
Yeah.
Say what you want about the new trilogy, that isn't George Lucas.
Yeah.
That was George Lucas, like it or not.
See, I think the story was there for the prequels.
Yeah,
I just feel like some of the execution was a little bit lost. I think he just needed somebody to say, this might be a bit too far, or it might just. I think he just needed that person in his corner to really talk things through, because he was in charge of everything in episodes 1, 2, and 3.
yeah.
And in 4, 5, and 6, he had a lot of people to bounce ideas off of, and that really helped direct and stuff like that.
Totally.
Because whenever you're doing it all yourself, I mean, not like the whole films yourselves, but whenever you're completely in control and it's just your way or the highway for the most part, sometimes you can go astray. It's good to have other people to bounce ideas off. I'm not saying he didn't, but I just think there were some execution things that probably could have brought in some people to help him out with that. That's just my opinion of.
Have you read that How Star Wars Conquered the Universe?
I read most of it.
Okay,
I didn't finish it.
That's a good one. How it just dives into what was going on a lot with the prequels, and it gets up to like the point where Disney bought Lucasfilm. But it talks about how he wrote it, and he wasn't finished writing it when they were filming, Attack of the Clones, and he was still writing it, and George Lucas hated writing. He
That's
just
part of-
hated it.
yeah, that's
Most
part
people
of
that
it.
write actually hate the process of writing. They're only happy when it's done. But he didn't have much help. And then everybody around him was just like, yes, whatever you want,
Yes,
George Lucas.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Yeah.
because he had,
That's what I'm saying.
it was coming back
Yeah.
and revisiting, and it was pushing the envelope on, digital shots and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
we'll fix it in post kind of thing,
Yeah, that's dangerous.
George Lucas is still fixing it in post.
Right.
McClunky.
yeah.
Boy.
Which, if nobody knows what we're talking about when it comes to that, I don't know if we've explained that before,
Right.
but in the Disney Plus version of Episode 4 with the scene between Greedo and Han Solo, they added a line for Greedo before he gets shot.
Yep.
Spoilers for Episode 4 if you haven't seen that, which I hope you
And
have
it
at this
literally-
point.
Yeah, probably.
The word paints a picture for
Yeah.
that entire scene. It's McClunky.
Well, that's what he
so
says.
weird.
Greedo says McClunky and then hits the
yeah,
table.
and then he gets shot. and
hits the
boom,
table.
he's done.
If you
McClunky.
slow down the
McClunky.
shot,
They've changed it now.
Han sits there normally. If you slow it down, he actually his whole body just like
Tweaks.
awkwardly turns.
Yeah.
to-
Yeah.
Like it doesn't look natural in the least. He's just like
digitally edited.
it's digitally going
Yeah.
click. There's not even any motion
Right.
blur. It's just like
Yeah.
a cardboard cutout went and he
Right.
dodged the
It's
bullet
like literally they took a picture and just moved.
in one frame. It's like
Yeah.
there's no human that's fast.
Right.
Who knew that Han Solo the whole time was force sensitive?
He
Right.
was.
He's like,
He
I
just
know this is gonna land right here.
Yeah, yeah.
I almost
that
feel
is
like-
a whole episode on its own.
Yep.
And people have done lots of videos on that specific scene.
Oh my goodness.
We
Yeah.
could go for days on that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
But
we
Well,
are.
but I mean,
anyway, stay on target.
yeah, stay on
Stay
target.
on target.
Sorry,
Speaking
let
of
you
that
finish
scene, we later arrive in the cantina in this episode,
Oh yeah.
and lo and behold, there's a young bounty hunter sitting where Han Solo was sitting.
exactly.
Exactly how Han Solo was sitting.
Exactly.
in the exact same cantina
Yep.
that Luke walked in with Obi-Wan
Yeah.
Yep.
as a young boy with no droids here,
Which is kind of funny.
You're right,
Yeah.
actually.
It
I didn't
is.
think about that till now, but the
bartender
was
is a
a
droid.
droid,
Oh,
Yes.
and he said no droids.
Right.
Yeah.
I was-
So lo and behold, it got replaced
Yep.
by
I was like,
droids.
Yeah.
Well, times have changed.
I'm kind
Yeah.
of surprised that the Mandalorian wanted to talk to the droid since
Right.
he's so against droids.
Yeah.
That's true.
But he was
But-
looking for work, so
yeah, he was like,
pretty
yeah,
sure
you gotta
he
talk
was
to-
desperate.
you gotta talk to somebody about something.
Droids.
And actually, honestly, that scene was a little too heavy-handed for me.
Okay.
Heavy-handed. Too much fan service.
With him sitting that way specifically, and it was like he was. If you're gonna sit in the seat of greatness, that is Han Solo,
right?
You better live up to that. And for me, that kid did not live up to it. You ended up being well,
I think that's why he got what he got. You know,
but I don't know. I just felt
it was another heavy-handed moment in your opinion.
I was like,
okay,
don't do that necessarily.
Yeah,
you can put him there or something like that, but you don't need to play it exactly the same.
Yeah,
I don't know. I like variation. I like the fact that they went there, but I'm okay with them changing it up a little bit and referencing it.
Yeah,
but it just felt. Again, it feels like something that we would have seen in a fan film.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to rip on this episode too much, but there's just certain things that just kind of took me out. Like I wanted to be in with the Mandalorian and in with what's going on with him in this scene. I don't want to be constantly thinking, oh, they're just redoing that. They're redoing that. They're redoing that.
The parallels were like
what
looking
was
for
his name? I don't remember his name.
No idea. Maybe we can get that fact checked.
Maybe we can get that fact checked.
Yeah, fact checker.
But they didn't. I don't think they. I don't. Maybe they said his name.
Checker.
But clearly, he's the gunslinger of the episode. The title.
I think so. Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, because he kind of did it
the
more
one
like that.
The Mandalorian helps. That's in over his head.
Yeah,
I think that's what.
Oh, what'd you guys think about before he went to the cantina? He put Baby Yoda to sleep for nap time.
Yeah,
that was kind of funny.
It was
like the Baby Yoda has pretty much taken over universally. That's why I think this show is universally number one and all this stuff because it's permeated all subculture. Every meme is like the Mandalorian, and there's always a moment in every episode now. That he just put him down for a nap. Yeah. How cute is that? And then
it's so cute.
At that point, it's
But on the other hand, it's kind of irresponsible.
Yeah.
Because he just leaves him on the ship. It's like, oh yeah, he'll be out for hours, Yeah. And then he wakes up.
Well, the last episode, he left him with the Krill people. And then this one, he just leaves it on the ship.
So he's
sleeping.
Not a great dad.
He's not the best dad.
He's definitely a bounty hunter and doesn't think everything through when it comes to that.
Yeah, I agree.
I still am like, okay, everybody's after this kid.
Right.
Yeah.
I would take him everywhere with me. Yeah. I mean, I guess you're not quite as tough if you walk into a cantina with a
right Baby Yoda. You're looking for work.
What do you
have there?
But you're right. I'm surprised he hasn't figured out some way to like tuck him between the Beskar so that he's like completely
Beskar pouch.
That's what I mean.
What do you got there?
Like a kangaroo, but
why do you look like that?
A mandaroo.
A mandaroo.
Yeah, so I get why they do it in some ways, but it seems like if you're trying to protect this kid, don't leave him alone all the time for everybody else to watch.
It's probably like one of the story things when they were writing this. They're like, okay, we're going to introduce this baby in the first episode, but clearly I haven't gotten rid of him yet. That's just like a one-off. So like we have to find a way to keep him away so the Mando can go do other stuff without having a baby in tow.
Yeah.
And now they're finding creative ways, which of course we can pick apart in a funny way.
I mean, not everything has to be perfect and make perfect sense to make a good episode, a good show. Obviously, we just like nitpicking certain things.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, but it's so funny their relationship, like as a dad almost, and
it's
how they've really bonded since the first episode of him almost getting shot.
It's such a good. I just still love the fact that it's just this cute little baby, innocent baby, and this like cold-hearted killer.
Yeah, right.
But how he feels,
right?
So obviously he's got a heart, but it's just funny because I love that pairing, especially in episode 4. I still think is one of the best scenes.
Yeah.
In episode 4 was when they were sitting in the thing, and then he keeps flipping the switches.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the best scenes from episode 4 for me.
Did you see the memes of like different types of music every time he switches it? It's like he's like, stop that.
Anyway, but we probably should get going on.
Yeah,
this.
We're definitely half breaking down these episodes.
Right.
If you can't tell, it's not as much of a review as it is kind of a breakdown.
Right.
So yeah, it's but this was an amazing episode overall. So he gets these. The dude talks to him. He says he's got a bounty for him, and they go after this new lady Finnick Chan, I think is her name.
Shen?
Finnick Shan.
Finnick
maybe?
Shan, I believe is the name.
Yeah.
And she's no.
Also, we got our fact checker.
Oh,
to give
fact
us
checker, yeah.
The name of the bounty hunter.
Okay.
His name was Toro Calican.
Toro Calican. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And he mentioned when he got the speeders, because he's like, clearly what he wants him to go after this Finnick Shan, and he's like,
high value assassin.
yeah.
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 And then
She's
Mando's
dangerous.
like, what do you say? You haven't been doing this for a while because
Right, he's like,
you're not going to go after her
"Well,
successfully
You're not
and
gonna
make it.
last-
To
You're
to
not
the
gonna
sun-
last.
to sunset or
till
something
sun-
like
yeah.
or sunrise. She said
sunrise,
something about the
yeah.
sun.
So
Two
sh-
sons.
Yeah,
Two
so,
sons.
Tatooine.
So obviously Mando knew of her and knew that she was going to be better
Yeah.
than this punk kid because he was
Yeah.
acting all tough.
Yeah.
And the interesting about this kid was, against even though like they keep introducing characters, I'm like, I still want to know more about their backstory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the good, but that also is indicative of a good story in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because in Star Wars is one of the biggest like movies where you want to know every detail about you want to know the backstory of almost every character that shows up, and people have literally created background stories, their whole backgrounds for each, even if they just show one scene or they're in the background
Right.
of the original trilogy,
Yeah.
especially the first one. But anyway,
They had
I
a
want to
better-
know that kid's backstory because he
Yeah.
didn't care about the money. He said that
Right.
a lot. And he had lots of money. He was just out for the reputation.
He wanted the reputation because
makes
he
me
wanted to
wonder
get
about
into
him.
the
Yeah.
guild, right? But
Yeah.
wherever he comes from, which maybe Corellia, because he mentioned this isn't
Yep.
Corellia
When he
with
steals the
the dusty, dirty speeders.
Yep.
Which is another callback kind of to Han. If
Yeah.
he's a Corellian sitting
Exactly.
in that
Right,
spot.
Yeah. So either
But
he's
a
from
bounty
that
hunter
or it's just
versus a smuggler. Bounty hunter versus smuggler, though.
Yeah.
yeah,
Han is just a smuggler.
that's true.
Just a smuggler. Don't
Just
say that.
well, this guy's
Dustin.
not even. I mean, I guess he's a bounty hunter, but he's not in the guild yet. So
Right,
he's
he
just
said-
up and coming.
Yeah. Didn't
Yeah.
you say it was his first mission?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did
It's
admit
like-
that. He was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
I
he's
need
like,
your
this is
help."
my first one.
you
Because
think
the
it's
Mando
kinda
calls him out.
crazy?
He's like, you're a punk.
Don't you think it's kind of
Yeah.
crazy that they would give him such a high target?
I don't-
Hit
I-
being his first.
Or he probably
I don't
took that
think.
one.
Yeah, I don't think they just gave it to him. I think he bought it.
Bought it.
I think he was like, "Look, I want to get into it." He's like, or maybe they were just trying to weed him out.
Right.
They're
Yeah.
like, "All right, well,
Weed
if you
him
can
out.
get this person, you can join." They're like, "Well, he's dead."
Right, yeah.
You
Well, and
know?
he's obviously not in
Good
the
knowing.
guild yet, because if he was in the guild, he would have heard about the Mandalorian,
Right.
probably.
Or at least he would have known.
Or the
Yeah,
target, you
yeah.
know, because he knew that the guild got, he would have heard at some point. Maybe.
And
We don't know.
it's smart for the guild to be like, "Look, if this kid actually is good and brings in this high value target,
Yeah,
that's better for us.
Right.
If
exactly.
he dies, we don't care.
We
No.
don't really care. He's
That's
a
one less
nobody.
bounty hunter going for ours."
That's
Right.
true. Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was, but then they got on the speeder bikes and
that
take
was
off.
cool.
And,
I did.
yeah.
I did like the speeder bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was new. I mean, not new. We've seen that, but it
Yeah.
was cool to see again. I don't know why I like the speeder bikes. And they
They
were almost like
they used them well.
Yeah.
The CG was what you expect, but it was,
it was a TV show, but it was still very well done.
yeah, it didn't feel really
no, it
cartoony.
didn't.
It felt
It didn't.
felt real. I mean, they did a great job on the CG and that, and
Yep.
I like how they're doing the ships. I like how they're doing that. Anytime there's CG vehicles or anything like that, so far have been amazing. They
Mhm.
got those figured out.
Yeah, they really
And-
do.
And
Yeah.
to have a good Star Wars story, you don't need everything to be perfectly
Yeah,
polished.
right,
Right.
That kind of adds a little bit to the charm.
right. Kind of lived in.
That doesn't
kinda-
mean you don't need to strive for excellence with their shots and
Right,
scenes
yeah.
and stuff like that. But it just pays a little bit more homage to the
Yeah.
original,
Yep.
does.
which I like. We kind of skipped over a little bit with the new lady they introduced
Yeah.
with the droids. What'd you guys think about her?
I actually liked her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She wasn't too bad.
I thought
wasn't
she
like-
was funny, and I thought she
Yeah.
fit her role as a local repair mechanic kind of
Right,
gal. And she seemed pretty tough with her little entourage of those prequel droids. I thought she
Yeah.
did a good
What
job
are
of
those droids called? Fact checker.
fact checker.
Check facts.
I think they're.
please.
Please. And
oh,
thank
God,
you.
I know their name, but I can't
Yeah,
remember it. It's on
I
the tip of my
can't
tongue.
recall it.
What'd
What'd
you
you-
think? Yeah, what'd you think, Nick, of her?
No, yeah, I thought she was great. And this is going back to episode 4. The acting was better than
Mhm.
most
Yeah,
of episode
I
4's
believed her
actors.
role.
Yeah,
I didn't feel like she was
Yeah,
trying too
she
hard.
fit in
Yeah.
more so, I would say.
Yep.
Yeah,
And Dustin didn't like her.
Dustin was like,
I'll be.
"Meh."
Well, no, I
That's
liked
okay.
her. I just again, there's certain scenes and certain people that she felt a little cartoony to me. in some regards. I felt like on Tatooine, typically for me in Mos Eisley,
it's
pretty
backwater.
Yeah, it's a pretty harsh town. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I felt like maybe she would have had a couple more helpers as far as like aliens but it was a single port, I guess. And I don't know how their structure is set up at Mos Eisley. Does just one person that owns that one port where they land, and then they're in charge of that? You know what I mean?
Well, and anything could be now that the Empire's gone.
So that's the other thing, though, I was going to mention is that technically this is 10 years after Episode 4. Because it's 5 years after Episode 6. And I believe there's 5 years between the original
New
trilogy.
Hope and Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, so I believe it's 10 years. Maybe we can get that fact check too.
We'll report back on the next one.
No worries. We're flooding our fact checker.
If you know
with
in the
facts.
comments and you're a super
let us
Star
know.
Wars expert, chat in.
Yeah, but anyway, so times could have changed. Maybe Mos Eisley isn't as bad as it was in the original trilogy. So I just felt like it would have again worked a little bit. It could have worked a little bit better in like a Clone Wars or a Rebels.
Yeah,
it felt like that. She was nice, but she was also still looking out for herself in some ways as far as like the money goes and stuff like that.
I'm curious.
And had the gun and stuff, but she. And it makes sense that she kind of melted a little bit for Baby Yoda.
Yeah,
because it's like,
everybody does.
Who wouldn't melt for Baby
Yoda
like that? That was adorable. It was cute how she was. So like
motherly. She was straight up. Yeah, she's got the little. Yeah, she's like, "Oh, you're hungry." Well, was that when he came off the ship? Yeah, because he woke up.
Yeah,
and
I'd stay on that ship if I were you.
I thought that was cute, but I thought their relationship was more genuine than the mother and the daughter from Episode 4.
Yeah. We're still ripping on
Chapter 4. I just felt like they were both like, mother, daughter.
Well, and he almost blew her away.
What's that?
He almost blew her away.
Right?
The daughter.
Oh, she snuck up on him. What's that? That's right.
How many times? We need to account for how many times she almost died in this episode.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Oh man.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But
sorry,
going back to
the
people of the Mos Eisley spaceport.
Go back to Episode 4.
Yeah. Did you guys realize like how scarce it was?
Yeah.
There weren't many like
on Tatooine. You mean?
Oh yeah,
it was
or people.
Maybe it was like out of season or something. Maybe it wasn't a popular time. Maybe it's just really fallen by the wayside since it was an active port.
Yeah,
in Episode
4. But the Empire was there, and there was all kinds of stuff.
I mean, maybe that was it.
The Empire was maybe made it
maybe
bigger
the
than
Empire, dissolved, and everything was just like.
Yeah, everybody left.
Well, and also because the Hutts were involved a lot more and there was a bounty hunters guild working out of there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the bartender.
And they said the bounty hunters guild didn't work out of there anymore.
Oh,
at least the straight
that's
up
true.
Bounty Hunters Guild, which is interesting because the Bounty Hunters Guild in the expanded universe did operate out of Tatooine.
Oh,
so are they making that
connection?
Yeah, because Boba Fett was in the Bounty Hunters Guild, and there's a whole.
I think they are making it canon. You heard it here.
I think they might. I don't know, but
they mentioned the name of the planet.
They did
on this planet of the actual Bounty Hunters Guild planet because he said
way more people on that planet than this planet. Yeah, what they showed.
Right.
That's the only other thing I feel like makes it seem a little bit more like a TV show.
Yeah.
The extras
the scale
and stuff like that.
of all that is.
Yeah. They would just pepper in a few more people, make it look like a little bit more bustling. Yeah. But like we said, I think Tatooine though. What I was trying to say was the Hutts were in charge there, and that was probably forcing a lot more trade. Going on.
Yeah,
Plus, the Empire had a strict hold on the whole galaxy, and this was a backwater planet. Yeah. So a lot more travel maybe happened, backwater stuff. You know what I mean? So since the fall of Jabba the Hutt and the Empire, it could have slowed traffic down.
Yeah,
a little
that's
bit,
true.
and maybe made it a little less harsh of a planet.
Yep,
in
exactly.
some regards.
Yeah.
But anyway, we can keep moving.
Yeah, it's good. And this was directed by Dave Filoni. Okay. I just checked it. So interesting. It's interesting the similarities between Chapter 1 and this one. In a way, the way it was more animated, and I felt maybe more like an animated show.
Yeah.
Some of the characters, like you're saying. Even the kid, what would you say his name was?
Toro
Wait,
Calican.
no, I'll get it.
Yeah. Get it up
Toro Calican, yep.
Yeah, so, even his character being, okay, we get it, he's kind of the cocky punk kid, and they really played that, and then, we got a comment?
So our fact checker
said the
pit droids are another creation of the prequel trilogy, technically designated the DUM series, DUM series of pit droids. They're mechanics helpers who can be programmed to do repairs as well as expand out to more unusual tasks, such as hurrying to dispose of a dead body for Pelly. That's her name.
Oh, okay.
Oh, her name's Pelly.
Pelly.
Cool.
They never said that.
Good job, fact checker, man.
Fact
You're
checker is
good.
on it.
He's on it.
It's a lot of facts.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Nothing.
What?
What? What just happened?
All right.
We don't know.
Yeah, so they get out. They set out on their mission. He agrees.
Yep.
Let's meet him. Let's go. We're going to go take on this Fennec Shan. They could do this awesome sweep across the desert. We see some more fan service in, I think, good fan service.
That one I didn't
with
mind.
the Tusken Raiders.
I didn't mind that.
He
no.
sees the Tuskens. That was
makes
cool.
sense.
The binocs. And then the Tuskens sneak up on him, and he's like, tell him yourself.
Right? Yeah.
See, I like that. Those kind of things don't bother me because it wasn't
Yeah.
the exact same thing.
Right.
They
Yeah.
didn't jump up in front of the binoculars
Right.
like I was half expecting.
Right. At that point,
Yeah.
you were. I was expecting it too.
But
Yeah.
then they were just standing right
it was
there.
a shot-for-shot
and
remake.
they were
This is
standing
great.
right there,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
liked that even more because he was like, "Oh,
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Even they were like,
Yes.
like they were
You're
both
right.
shocked.
That was a
Yeah.
good moment.
I like
Yeah.
that."
Yeah,
That
and
was
then
a good one.
now we know that Tuskens, or he can communicate with
Yeah.
him via
Good one.
It's like
some sign language.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some
Have we ever? I don't think we've
Tusken
ever
sign
seen that.
language?
In canon, I want to say like episode 2, but I don't think there was because there was just a
No.
lot of dead.
There was a
Tuskens.
lot of death.
I killed them.
Yeah, he was communicating. All right.
He was communicating with his lightsaber.
Lightsaber.
Yes.
Much
No,
anger.
I don't think there
we-
has. Other than books, I know of. There's been some communication with
Right.
books, but typically, Tuskens are pretty
Brutal.
brutal. They're
Yeah.
not very friendly. That's
No.
why I was almost surprised that
yeah.
they were actually friendly enough.
Mm-hmm.
Which, in some ways, makes me wonder if they've seen a Mandalorian around or something.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Could hint a little bit, like maybe if Boba's alive,
Right.
has he been working with the Tuskens or worked with the Tuskens?
I don't know.
How
Sounds getting by.
how did the Mandalorian know how to communicate with them?
Yeah.
That was another
That is
interesting
another
thing.
Yeah,
question.
another language he speaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the
Sign
Jawas, and you
Sorry
know.
if I offended you just now. I don't know
Which-
what I said.
Which is kind of
Yeah, right.
Which is kind of we already got in trouble for that one.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's kind of interesting to me though that I just lost my point.
Well, we got a comment
Yeah,
from
that's
Allison.
interesting to me, too.
I'm gonna call her Allie. I'm assuming.
Allie.
Have to agree with that. 2 copy and paste of the cantina scene.
Yeah.
Felt a
Yeah.
little copy and paste.
Right on the nose.
Yeah, it did feel a little right on the. I'm gonna have to edit that. Oh
We're gonna
man.
have to edit that. It's live.
It's live. Can't edit this.
Oh no! No, I'm
no
gonna
rules.
capture that moment and I'm gonna
No
make it a
rules.
GIF. Anytime there's something right on the nose, I'm gonna use that as a GIF.
Right.
And
Yeah.
right on the nose. Boop, boop. No, but yeah, that was pretty right on. But yeah, the Tuskens were hilarious.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
trying to
Remember your
what I was
point?
talking about the Tuskens.
We're talking about the Tuskens.
Oh my gosh! I just
They're raiders.
Yeah.
They ride banthas.
yeah,
The fact
true.
that
I just
you're
lost it.
you're saying like
Yeah.
a high percentage of them tying it together. The more they keep feeding and peppering in these planets that we know from the original trilogy,
Yeah.
the higher the chance goes up of them tying into the rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, that
I
is true.
agree.
in some ways, but the movies haven't really tied a lot into the main.
No, the movies haven't.
Right.
But,
planets.
but if they're if they're
But
serious
it's
in the
heavy
rise,
canon.
and
It's
yeah,
it's heavy
true.
plot points in canon. I would
and if
say
Rise
that's the
is
point.
really wrapping up the 9 movies, it's supposed to be the saga of the trilogy, you know, with the Emperor coming back and all this stuff, then they're gonna have to pull, or there's a possibility they could pull from any of those.
Yeah.
They're already doing it in this show, but I mean they could pull from something that happened here, or maybe
Yeah.
not.
Right.
Of course,
yeah.
at the very end there was a little bonus scene there
Yeah.
that we'll talk about, but
Yeah.
Let's get to
that.
Fennec Shan.
Fennec Shan,
What do you guys
that
think?
was a cool kind of holdout fight.
Yeah.
yeah.
Took a little while,
Yeah.
but
It's kind of drawn out.
What'd you think of the-
she caught him off guard.
Yeah, what do you
Yeah.
think about that? I thought at least it was cool that we saw some like sniper fire,
Yeah.
some heat vision,
Yeah.
and also showing how tough,
Beskar armor is.
Yeah, well, you were saying that in the last one. Wouldn't that be awesome if the ATST just shot him right in the Beskar
Right.
and blew him back?
Beskar bars.
Yeah.
And he said that.
He said
that. It was so funny.
like,
Oh,
He
you're
said that.
hit? He's like, yeah, right in the Beskar.
Right in the
we were like,
Beskar.
oh, there he
Yes.
They can read our thoughts.
They can read your thoughts.
Right in the Beskar.
And he got shot like in this episode
I think it
like
was,
a
like,
half
3 or
dozen
4
times or something.
Yeah.
Right in it. I mean,
Yeah.
like between the two, he got shot with the sniper like directly
Yeah.
2 or 3 times at when they were charging, and then she just took right aim, shot him right in the chest. There was smoke, and
Yep.
that had to still hurt.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
like people get shot with,
Bulletproof vest.
bulletproof vests, and I imagine it still hurts.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
at least in the
they have-
shows, they show them getting knocked out, and they wake up and like, oh, thank goodness for the
It leaves
bulletproof
like,
vest.
bruises and stuff. So
Yeah, I don't want
it's
to find
probably
out,
similar.
but
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting to see that it was strong, and I thought it was kind of funny though. Whenever he went and rested, he trusted that kid enough to, or just didn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He trusted that kid enough to go to sleep around him, which kind of led to that odd but funny scene whenever the
Right.
kid's like,
Right.
He's like,
Like,
look at you.
I almost was like, did he get hit other than the Beskar?
Right,
I was
yeah.
like,
Yeah,
is the Mandalorian gonna?
Is he knocked
I
out?
almost half expected him to just fall over, like
Right.
like he was,
Oh,
he
wow.
was hurt,
Yeah.
pretty bad.
Yeah.
That's true.
But then they played the funny scene, like,
Yeah.
are you done?
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
he was like
You done.
drawing his weapon on him.
Yeah.
He's like,
Which is goofy.
you
It
done?
Yeah, it reminded me of like a very newbie like kid type
Yeah.
scene. you
yeah,
know?
which I liked. They played toward like the younger crowd, maybe of kids watching or whatever. You know, it was
Yeah.
funny.
It was
fun.
It was funny. I didn't
Yeah.
mind that. I thought that was pretty funny. It was
But
a
I
little
liked-
goofy, but it
I liked
worked.
his plan though of let's hang out till nighttime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smart.
He
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
really
It's smart.
seasoned versus an
right,
unseasoned.
right, because he
Yeah.
knew that she had the advantage during the day with that sniper, that modified MK.
Yep.
He said,
Yeah,
MK
which he
rifle.
knew what it was
Yeah.
right off the
Which is
bat.
very
like getting
cool.
Shot by
Yeah.
it.
right.
Yeah, he's just aware.
Yeah.
He's been around the block,
Yeah,
and
he
clearly this
knows.
kid had no idea. Even when they were like, where is she? You see her over there?" He's like
Right.
peeking his head up. "Haven't you seen Band of Brothers?
Right, yeah.
Haven't you seen these movies?
Keep
you don't
your head down.
You don't put your head out. Have
Yeah.
you seen
Yeah.
any World
Yeah.
War II films?"
Oh my gosh.
Well, they are in Star
Right.
Wars, so no.
Oh,
Right.
no.
So
If it was
no.
Star Trek, maybe.
Been
But, yeah.
many years.
Gosh, that was episode 4.
Oh, that's right.
Just joking.
Although I did see, no, never mind. So
Yeah.
anyway,
All right, let's move it along.
they jump to
again, but-
nighttime. He gets the really cool idea to take out the lady.
Yep.
the
Pretty much
sniper
char-
with
yeah.
Finnick,
flash.
Yeah. What?
Finnick Shan.
Yeah, with
Finnick
flash
Shan with
grenades.
flash.
Yeah, that was I like that
Yeah,
sequence.
It was
It was a
really
great-
that
smart.
was a really
Great
cool
plan.
sequence, and I like the fact that it was very well done. It was smart that was the reason he wanted to go at night
Mhm.
too, because he knew what she was using as
Yep.
far as like the scope,
The scope,
and everything.
yep.
Yeah, it was a really creative
Yeah,
plan.
I really
It didn't
liked
go perfectly.
No.
but they
Right, yeah.
alternated,
But
and
he said
it
that.
did give themselves. Yeah, he's like, it'll give us a chance or something like
chance.
that. He's like,
Yeah.
a chance.
that. Yeah,
He's like, bounty hunter.
You
Yeah,
wanted this.
yeah, right.
yeah.
And of course, Mando's not as scared because he knows if he gets shot, he's gonna be okay.
Right.
The
Yeah,
kid's
for the
like, I don't
most
have
part.
best car. You know?
Yeah, he did say that.
He's
That was
like,
kind of funny.
Nope.
Yeah, that's right. He said nope. That's right. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but they finally, which is crazy. I mean, really, the Mandalorian got shot out, which is
Yeah.
crazy, and then shot in the chest.
Yeah.
Oh
right
yeah.
after that.
Yeah.
So again, it was like
He got blown right
He
off
got
the
beat
speeder
up in
bike.
this episode.
Yeah,
Yeah,
again, I
he
just
really
like
did.
he
repeatedly.
just takes a beating. That's what the Mandalorian
It's
does.
just
and
like
the armor
Rocky.
helps. Yeah, he is kind of like Rocky.
He
They
fits
did,
in.
maybe they need to bring that theme back.
They didn't have it this one.
They didn't.
No, they didn't.
I don't think
I don't.
at all.
I haven't really.
Well, I mean, we didn't watch all the credits, so. it might
Oh,
have been
yeah.
no, but I
there,
mean,
so.
like the first 2 episodes, they had that pretty prominent. And they haven't
Anytime
had
they
it
were
too
on a
much.
traveling scene, like the
Yeah.
time they would have showed it when they were on
Yeah,
the speeder bikes
speeder
this
bikes,
time.
Yeah, they didn't really.
But
do
I
it.
really liked the music in this one.
There and there was one
Overall.
scene specifically
Yes.
that I really liked the music.
When was
It
that?
Played. It was later on. We can get to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean, the plan kind of worked. They were able to get to Finnick.
Yeah, it worked out.
Yeah, he
Yep.
snuck up behind her when when she just targeted the Mandalorian.
Mhm.
Still kind of.
Yeah, do you guys? I think it's funny that she just shot at him. She didn't shoot at the other guy.
Well, he kind of turned into the distraction. The
Right,
Mandalorian.
but
She was probably
Because
more worried
he-
about
well,
the
he
Mando.
also he
but
also
I'm saying, like, wouldn't it have been easier to just take the other guy out
Right,
first and
that's
then
true.
focus on the Mandalorian? Well, I mean, I guess he's like pretty much an unbeatable tank at this point.
I think
Yeah,
Just would have
right.
just kept walking.
That's true.
I think she was thinking. I think she was thinking keep the one with armor more at bay,
Right.
Right.
and I can deal with the other one that doesn't have armor up close.
Which she did.
Which she kind of was.
Yeah.
Honestly, again,
Yeah.
if they both wouldn't have been working together, I'm not sure either one of them would have made it out okay.
Right.
Maybe
Yeah,
the Mando, but that
exactly.
would have been a really tough situation.
Yeah.
But anyway, because she was tough, she had a sneaky blade, kind of showed why she was top. Or was she assassin? What was she again?
She was an assassin.
assassin, yeah.
basically,
She
that
worked for the crime syndicate.
top crime
and
syndicates.
even the Huts. Yep.
Which she showed that a bit, which was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it worked out. They got her, and then some interesting stuff happened there. There was
Like
some
little-
interesting talking. She was
Yeah.
smart. She played it smart.
Yeah. What do you think about the quick little melee combat between her and him?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, it's just that whole any part with her really.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. Well, because
But-
that all led up to her. She was kind of the
Yeah.
MacGuffin of the episode, and they
Yeah.
get to her, and,
And
they had to entrench, and she was pretty entrenched, and then
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
then they got to her, and he was just getting beat up by
Yeah.
her at first. It was almost like the scene in the last episode with Cara Dune, when he just
Yeah.
snapped the Mando to the ground, and he
Yeah.
flopped like a
Yeah.
fish.
He was like.
I would say that fight was more
Scorpion.
even than this fight. though.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
was what I'm saying, but the way she was
Yeah.
woman handling that
Woman handle?
Oh man.
the guy.
Oh boy.
We're in
She- I mean,
trouble.
the way she was taking him down, I'm just saying, was like he was just getting beat up,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
he kind of
And then
he
there's
pulled a
like
couple
one,
moves.
He
one
fought
point,
okay, but-
one point where he like seems to get the upper hand,
And then she
but
just-
then immediately
she
it's
just flips around.
Yeah, she's like whoop.
Yeah. I guess for
Yes,
me,
exactly.
Yeah.
again, the only thing for me, I like the fight sequence. It worked well, but since she was in the show
Agents of
Agents
Shield.
of Shield, it just felt so Agents of Shield. I couldn't really,
Right, yeah.
I
Oh,
couldn't
okay.
separate that super well just because she's such a prominent.
Is she a main character?
She's a
in the,
main
okay,
character
I haven't
of
seen a
that
lot
show.
of that.
So and she
Oh.
fights because she is trained. She's a martial arts. She's trained
Right,
in martial
yeah.
arts, so she actually knows all that stuff, which is cool. And
Yeah.
I like that they use that as a strength.
Right.
Of
Yes.
hers. So it was cool. I didn't mind her character. I wish again that they would have made her like an alien though. I still
Oh,
think
okay.
Right.
that, but I think they were trying to because she's pretty famous, use her face.
Yeah, that makes
But I
sense.
still think they could have done it in a way that like I don't know, make her as a brack. You
Yeah.
know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well,
They
I don't
could
know
have
if there
done
really
that.
were a female. Well,
maybe.
females are
I
brack.
liked her helmet though.
Yeah, that helmet was
Yeah.
cool. It reminded me of the helmet of the bounty hunter in or the assassin in episode 2.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, the one that was trying to take
Coruscant.
out
Yeah.
Yeah.
Padme.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Forget her
that's
name
true.
now. Dang it.
Maybe she's
Fact checker.
What is her name?
fact checker.
I know what it is. It's something like that.
Check.
Not
Yeah,
that
she
important, but
was.
Anyway,
Right.
She
Zam
was-
Zam Wessel.
Way to go.
That
That
was
was
her
it.
name.
Trivia,
in
Star
episode
Wars
2.
trivia.
Yeah.
Good call.
I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Call me
Because
out
I
if
remember
it's wrong.
Django said her first name in the episode 2.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
anyway,
Yeah, she said
but
it's
yeah,
good.
I thought she did well.
Oh
Wasn't
yeah.
in it super long.
Yeah.
No.
She played it smart. I
Yeah.
like that. It
Yeah.
showed that she was smart and was able to kind of turn things around.
Right.
A little silly of the Mando to leave him, but they didn't really trust each other.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Mando had to go get another
Ride.
transport.
So far, the
The
Mando's
dewback.
been pretty true to his word, though, with
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
people that are less than savory.
Yeah.
You know, he hasn't really turned his back on a lot of these people. Like
No.
he could have just walked on this guy,
Yeah.
although he wanted the bounty. But yeah, I don't know. He helped him out and he followed through the plan. He went and got the dewback. Wasn't it a dewback?
Yeah,
Yep.
it was a dewback.
Walked
I like
it
that
all the way
callback,
back,
'cause
but-
that makes sense again.
But
Yeah.
now he's good with the animals.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, just mounted that thing and walked it all the way back since
Yeah.
that first chapter.
Yeah, with
first
the
chapter, yeah,
blurge.
with
Yeah,
the blurg.
blurgs, but it's a
and the
different animal
dewbacks.
in that one.
Yeah.
What?
That was a different.
Oh, sorry, you weren't saying it. was
No,
same.
no, I know it's
Sorry.
different, but I'm
yeah,
just saying he's
anyway.
now he's one with the animals, just like the Mandalorians were, just like in the Christmas special, like you mentioned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do still
Yeah.
call back to the Christmas special, so I like. I don't know why he didn't have his.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
right.
he didn't have his
as
rifle on
as
the
you
whole
said
time.
that, I'm thinking he didn't have his rifle on.
That would have come in
Yeah.
handy in this episode.
Oh yeah.
He could have shot back.
Yeah.
It would have been too easy.
Yeah, I know. But
Disintegration
and
wounds.
maybe because he said only that gun could make that shot, basically. So in a way, he
Oh,
might
yeah.
not have even.
He
been
needed
able
to pack.
and he needed to bring her in alive, and that
Yeah.
gun just disintegrates as
That's
far as we
true.
know. But actually, I think it does actually just shoot regular slugs.
I'm
too.
sure it does.
But still, I don't know if it would have been able to make the shot.
Yeah.
But anyway, blah blah blah. I like that scene though. Worked out well.
She
I
kinda
was surprised-
manipulated him,
I was a
yeah.
little surprised
Mm-hmm.
because, again, she's pretty famous. She's been in stuff. Oh,
Yeah.
she's also the voice of
Mulan,
Mulan.
the animated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and her name is we just
Mang.
No, may now win or something. We'll fact check that one.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, I thought she did well. I was surprised though with the turn. What'd you guys think?
Yeah, that was very surprising.
Yeah,
because
you were like, is he gonna go?
You
Right.
thought he was going to fall for
Yeah.
it.
It
And
was
then
like,
that
oh,
was
he's
the predictable
uncuffing her.
thing. And then he turned
Yeah.
and he
just
It showed a
killed her.
little bit
just
of
killed her.
yeah, which I was
Yeah.
surprised. I was like, dang, but
Wow.
it
Yeah.
showed that he wasn't as dumb as he looked.
Right. Yeah.
Honestly,
But
Yeah.
he's still
Right.
pretty
It
dumb.
but
did-
he still was dumb enough.
Right.
Yeah.
It did make him, though, it leveled him up a little bit
did,
in that
yeah.
part of it because he was really using his head. And it upped the ante of the intensity of the episode.
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
up to that point was kind of almost like, okay, we can see how this is going to go. They're probably going to get her. Maybe they'll take her back. You knew something weird was going to happen. I just figured she would trick him and get away.
Yeah.
And then the Mando would be like, why did you let her get away? And
Right.
then something, I don't know.
Well, I mean, even he says like after he shoots her, he's like, if I remove those cuffs, I'm a dead man.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
He's just smart about it.
Yeah,
Her
exactly.
name was Ming Na Wen.
Ming Na
Ming
Wen.
Na Wen.
Good
Yeah.
job, fact checker. Double fact,
Fact
checker. on
checker.
that one.
Yeah.
2 people fact check.
That's like 30 facts that
That's
we've
like-
had checked.
She was
Fact check
employed
squared.
by both crime syndicates, including the Hutts and the
Yeah.
Empire. So
Mhm.
she had worked for
Wow.
a lot of people, which is crazy. That
And the fact that-
some low-level bounty that wasn't
Right.
even in the thing took her out.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised by that in some
Yeah,
regards.
That's true.
But anyway, it still worked. It played well, and maybe she's
Yeah.
not dead because of the end scene.
Right.
Right,
Right.
She
yeah.
could be. She might not be.
Well, and then
I almost wondered for a second if he knew who she was, and they
if
were
you
just
knew.
playing the Mando the whole time.
Yeah, could have been.
Right.
Because she kind of leaned back and smiled. That would have been an interesting arc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if this kid was just trying to play the Mando to get him away, and then they could team up on the Mando to get the baby.
Right.
That would have almost worked better as far as the story goes and their plan. But again, maybe it didn't work.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's
My
true.
mind goes places like that, but
Yeah.
That's true.
because I'm weird.
Because I'm weird. Hi, weird. I'm Nick.
Yeah, but anyway,
Uh,
it's interesting. But then the kid turns around.
Yeah, he goes
Yep.
back and
Goes back and gets the baby.
he's like, now that's where the real money, that's where the real reputation is.
Yeah, and that's all he was about.
Anchors that reputation.
Smart that she played him like that.
Yeah.
Got
Yeah.
him to think that way.
And then the Mando just outsmarts him again because the kid's not
Yeah.
that bright. There was
Yeah.
even a time when he was pointing the gun. I saw
Right.
he like looked down for a minute because he was looking at the baby Yoda. I'm like, I wouldn't look down away from the Mandalorian.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all the time he needs as she's clasping him
Yeah.
with the thing.
Yeah.
I honestly
He wasn't
just
very
want,
bright.
I mean, because he practically did. I was like, just shoot him in the head. It's like you had a clear shot almost, not
Yeah.
clear, but I mean, at that distance, I was like, I kind of hoped that.
You talking about
I
the
was
kid?
kinda hoping that-
the kid.
No, I was kind of hoping that the Mandalorian, because he pulls the blaster on him and he's walking down the ramp with the
Mhm.
lady like off to the side a
He
little.
could have
bit.
just shot him.
And the Baby
he's,
Yoda right
He's a
here.
good enough
Yeah.
shot.
I'm like, I think it would have been almost hilarious if he just would have
Just
shot
boom,
him in
done.
the
Like, just
done.
didn't even let him
Yeah.
talk.
Wow,
Like he
yeah.
literally starts talking and it's just
Yeah.
that would have been pretty epic.
But
Yes.
anyway, it
They
worked-
wanted
it
to give
worked.
him a couple more
Yeah,
lines.
Yeah,
and
it worked out.
I didn't think they would kill him, but
right. Yeah.
I figured
Killed
there'd be
him
some
off.
way out of it. But
Well, I mean,
That's what
maybe
we've
he's
thought
not,
about a
maybe
lot of
he's
people.
not dead.
yeah,
never
maybe
know.
it's like Marvel,
Right.
and everybody that dies
Right.
actually comes back.
Right.
Nobody really dies
Star
in the
Wars
Star Wars
too.
universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I'm pretty
Emperor's
sure he was
back.
dead, though.
Yeah. The
All you
Emperor's
gotta do is
back,
get some
so-
Yoda, get some baby Yoda
Yeah.
Yeah.
midichlorians, and they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Again, though, the only thing again about this episode is it did feel a little bit like a detour to me. I like it. I still really like it because it works. It's an episode.
I don't know. For me, it
Self-contained.
felt right.
Yeah. See,
It wasn't
I think
wrong.
the
I
same
don't.
thing.
No, I don't mean it was wrong. I just mean it's not playing to the overarching story.
Right.
or the
You're
plot.
wondering like what is the
It hasn't
main
moved.
goal?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
more of
I
what
guess.
It,
I guess in the
maybe
point of
they're
the show.
tying it in with maybe Fennec Shan was actually the bigger tie-in in this one.
Maybe.
Well,
That could've
because
been
they
it.
give you that second at the end,
That's true.
Yeah.
where
Yeah,
at the
and
very
she's
end,
tied into a lot of things.
yeah,
so.
I wonder what everybody else out there thought or what their speculation is.
Right.
He walks, you just see a leg down, walk over,
Yeah.
and then he kneels down
And
at
he
the
kneels
very
down,
end.
Goes to black.
It goes to black. We tried to pause it. Maybe I'll frame by frame it
Yeah.
here.
Right.
But I don't know. Was it other Mandalorian? Because he had a
What-
cape and it looked like he
Yeah.
had some leg armor that
Right.
looked like the Mandalorians. Is it another Mandalorian out or maybe
Is
somebody
it-
working
is
alongside
it-
Fennec Shan?
What do you guys think? Tell us in the
Yeah.
comments.
Tell us what you think.
What's the bombshell, Nick? What do you
Is
think?
it Boba Fett?
Mm. Every time, ever since they got on that
never gonna be
planet,
Boba
I'm
Fett.
like, it's got to be Boba
Right.
Fett. If they're gonna be,
That's just some no name. It's like, then why did you show us that?
yeah,
It would,
right.
well, at this point, it has to be somebody interesting.
Yeah.
I still
It's gotta
wonder if
be.
it's not going to be that Moff that I was talking about before.
Oh, yeah,
It
yeah,
could
yeah.
be.
Could be him.
In
Yeah.
Boba Fett's armor.
Oh.
In the book, in
Yeah.
canon,
It's
canon,
like the Dread Pirate Roberts.
yeah,
Oh.
the Jet Pirate. But in canon, actually, Boba Fett's armor has been found in a book.
Really?
Yeah,
I thought he
and somebody else
Yeah.
was wearing it.
Right,
Oh,
that's
okay.
what.
It's actually canon. In
Is it a canon
book
in a
can-
book?
in a
So there you
canon
go.
book. So
It's done.
canon
that
book.
they didn't say that Boba Fett was alive, but they did have they said a Mandalorian armor, and some guy was wearing it.
Yeah,
So anyway,
I
But
feel like that'd be kind
it's-
of a cool
I think
thing to do.
it's either going to be that Moff. I feel like that's probably the most likely. They're
Yeah,
trying to make you
right.
think that it's Boba Fett.
We're
It
doing
would
an
be
old
awesome.
switcheroo again.
I would actually love it if they brought Boba Fett into this.
Oh man, that'd be
I think it
great.
would be cool.
It would
I
be-
just
it'd
I
be
don't
awesome.
care any other way. I just like that's not too heavy-handed for me. I'm like just bring Boba
Right.
Fett. It makes sense.
Right.
Put him in the show.
But then other than that, I'm like this could also be a tie-in possibly.
Yeah.
to
What if it's
episode 9.
Luke?
Well, why would he be for Finnick though? Shan.
I have no idea.
Shan.
But he's from Tatooine.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I think the chance of that is 0.001.
It's
But
possible, but
the
it-
cape, but
yeah.
the armor doesn't make any
Yeah,
sense.
I don't know. Or could I'm almost wondering could it be I was for some reason I was thinking the main villain of episode 7 and
Kylo Ren.
no
Snoke?
Snoke. For some reason Snoke popped up in my head for that. I don't know why, but
That would
playing the
be
Empire or something like that.
that
But
would
I
be
still
pretty
think the
trippy.
biggest thing is
Yeah.
probably that Moff guy
yeah, probably. That's what I'm thinking. Why would he be so interested
or
in her?
Or
were,
Boba Fett.
were they on
Should
the
be
planet
awesome.
together? You know, or
Maybe
what's-
maybe
Yeah.
she was rendezvousing with him.
Oh,
okay.
that's right. Yeah, she did say something about a rendezvous.
Yeah,
Oh,
So maybe
right.
that's who it was.
that could have been who it was.
Because what was she trying to trick the kid into going with her to get the Mandalorian? That's what she was trying to convince him
think
of,
so.
and then they
Yeah.
could get the bounty and they could get the whatever.
Yeah.
So she could make a
And the
rendezvous
baby
or something.
Yoda probably make the
Yeah.
rendezvous. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Because maybe and
It almost feels like there was another part of that conversation that they cut out.
yeah,
And in the edit, they're
Right.
like, we don't need that. They'll get it.
They'll
maybe.
get it.
yeah. But anyway, so
We
but
didn't get it.
then at the
No.
at the end, he pays her well, the lady who was watching
Yep.
Enter Baby
Yeah,
Yoda.
that
that
was-
was
that was
cute.
cool.
Again, that was
Yeah.
cute.
It
Yeah,
was.
and
How
she-
she was so motherly with him and
Yeah, and they kind of focused on her, so I'm, you
or
know,
her. We don't know what Baby
her-
Yoda is. But
no, I mean, they focused
Sorry.
on her as in, like, the lady that was the mechanic,
yeah.
you know, for a little while. They looked at her, and you're like, oh, are they going to bring her back? Probably not.
She's part of the crew.
The thing
Part of
about
the
a
ship,
star, the
part of
thing
the
about
crew.
a show is that, like, this thing. Let's say this show goes on for 5 seasons.
Right.
You know, they could bring some of these characters back
Oh, yeah.
in season 3.
Right.
You know, remember that lady from
You're like,
season
"Oh, it's
1?
you again.
Yeah, every time they go back to Tatooine now, he's got a tie, somebody that he goes
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
that he can
That's true.
talk to.
Yeah.
Because if Baby Yoda's a baby at 50, he's probably going to be like, you know, like, I don't know, an 8-year-old by 100. I don't know how fast they grow
Right,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, that's
He might be a
weird to
kid
me,
for a
like,
long time.
He's
Yeah.
like he or she is kind of like toddler age
Right.
right now.
I mean,
Really?
that
At
Yoda's
50, we'd have to do the math on that.
the Yoda's
Yeah.
way gonna outlast the Mandalorian,
Yeah.
but
Well,
it's
and
got to get to a
Yoda's
point
like-
where it can take care of itself.
Mhm.
You know,
No, Yoda's like 900
Yeah.
right,
and when he passes.
right. There's a lot of stuff
So-
that they're setting up that you have to. There's some questions that need to be
Yeah.
answered before
Mhm.
long.
I did hear
That is
that.
true.
I did hear that Dave or that George Lucas told Dave Filoni and
John Favreau.
Jon Favreau that I think he told them the species name.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm
really?
pretty sure he did. At least somebody there's a rumor.
I've
or
heard that
something,
too. Yeah,
But
that
yeah,
George
that'd
Lucas
be
might have a
interesting.
hand in some of this that's going on.
I think he's got a bigger hand in this than people realize because he's actually been on set, and I think they've
Really?
been asking him, and he gave advice to both Jon
Favreau.
Favreau and Dave Filoni.
And
I
Filo-
still feel
well,
like
and
Dave
that's-
Filoni calls him up. And
Oh
is
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Filoni
Like, what
and
do you
him are
think
so
about her?
close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. I mean, he's the
It really does. Yeah.
he's the creator.
Yeah.
creator.
Cool. So were we hitting about an hour now? We're probably getting
I
close
think we're
to a
over
little
an
more
hour
than an
for
hour
sure.
on this stream, but it's been a lot of fun so far.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's been great. That was a great episode. Do you
Yeah.
have any
What do you
other
guys think? Let's
overall?
just do overall thoughts.
Yeah, quick overall. Nick, go ahead.
Overall, yeah, great episode. Definitely a step in the right direction. much more, Star Warsy in my opinion, and some good action sequences.
Yeah.
But yeah, the character killing off, I did not see that coming.
No.
I don't know. Like, I wonder if they're gonna bring back Fennec Shen, or if it's just the tie-in to the character that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
But no, I thought it was great. Yeah, and I honestly didn't think the references were that heavy-handed.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
some of them were
different.
Some of them were like, you don't need to really put that in, but good episode.
That's the nice thing. We can disagree and still talk about things.
Yeah.
And still like it.
We
And
can
still-
hate each other and put on faces.
Oh man. Yeah, we had a comment from Zarhimoto. She said, "Y'all are awesome.
Nice.
You're awesome.
You're awesome.
You're awesome as well." You haven't seen the episode yet, probably. What's that? And
Fact
so,
checker.
fact checkers, give me some tips here. But no, it's I don't know if you've seen the episode yet, but when you do, you'll have to let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're pretty fresh here. It aired technically at like midnight last night, so
Yeah.
yeah.
people have had almost
thought-
24 hours to
yeah.
watch the show. So
Yeah.
we're with
It's pretty fresh though. Still, I mean, most
Yeah.
people I think would watch it Friday night. After
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
That's-
I really like this episode though overall. And this it's a good way. Like we're over the halfway point. Like accelerating to the finish line. If we're like in the kill zone now, whatever it is. The Rise of Skywalker's coming out. This series or season finale is going to happen all within like a couple of days of each other, and Christmas
Yeah.
Oh, so
and
much
everything. There's a lot of good
Sithmas.
Star Wars. It's funny though, because like you said, 4 years ago when Force Awakens came out, we were so hyped for
Yeah.
the day that Force Awakens came out. It's just a different world we live in now, where we can just go up on our TV, click the latest and greatest Star Wars TV show,
Right.
watch it, talk about it, and then like see another one next week. We just got so much Star Wars building up to this movie now
Mm-hmm.
that it's just a different world we live in. And then of course
right.
after January hit, we'll all be in the Star Wars slump,
Right.
watching reruns and
Yep.
Uh,
I'll be like, what is next?
yeah, I know because the Mandalorian season 2, they haven't released a release
I
date.
think
No.
they've been filming it. I know.
Yeah, I know
filming
it's
it.
But I
filming,
think
yeah.
Clone Wars is coming out.
Oh,
at
that's
some
true.
point.
That is the next Star Wars,
animated
and I'm
cl-
excited for that.
Yeah, the
I'm excited for
final
the final
season.
of Clone
Yeah,
Wars.
Filoni again. That guy's
Yeah.
pretty busy
Oh yeah,
because he's really heading up that one.
Yeah.
I mean, he is.
He's doing good work though.
He's doing a good job.
Yeah.
he's the closest thing that we have to a successor to George Lucas.
Yeah.
Really, because he was basically taught by George Lucas
Yeah.
during the Clone Wars and working directly with him with
I-
that stuff.
If I rank this episode because of the space battle, it's probably in my top 3 out of the series
Really?
so far. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because of the space battle.
Yeah.
And the return to Tatooine was cool.
Yeah.
It still felt like the movie.
surprising.
Yeah, maybe it was a smaller scale version of it,
Right,
like
yeah.
one pocket of, but I like the Isley, spaceport Mos Eisley. That's pretty cool stuff. So.
Yep.
What about you, Dustin?
I overall I like this episode a lot. I think there was a few things if I would have done it would tweaked a little bit. I mean, I'm nobody to do that, but I just mean like for me it was a little heavy-handed in some sequences, and I felt like that took me out of the scene of the show a few times. But I think the main thing is we stuck with the Mandalorian, and anytime for me the Mandalorian's on screen, it anchors the whole show to just be awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
It really does.
honestly, if you're watching the Mandalorian, even if he's dealing with somebody that is silly and goofy, it still works
Right.
for me. So I like this. I did like the space battle. Again, there was just a silly line that took me. There's just small things that
Yeah.
kept taking me out. I just wish
Yeah.
there wouldn't have been those things that took me out of the scene. And be like, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
But for the
It's
most
interesting, yeah.
part, though, this Tatooine was a big surprise. I was surprised by that, and I overall liked it. I like seeing
Yeah.
familiar Star Wars.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like seeing familiar Star Wars, and that pays homage to the original trilogy.
Because there has been so much new in this series so far.
Yeah,
And to give you something that is pretty cool.
I like that.
Hit you right in the nostalgia.
The nostalgia,
Right in the best car.
right in the best car.
We had a Hawk Studio fact checker here said, raise your hand if you think it's Boba Fett. And Alisand raised her
Yep.
hand.
Raise their hand.
Yeah,
I
it
really
could
see.
be.
So
I
there's
kind of
some
hope
votes
it is.
votes for Boba.
Votes for Boba.
Votes for Boba. I don't-
Nice.
It would be cool to see Boba. It would be weird, but it would be cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, when they mentioned the Gunslinger, when they first got to Tatooine, I'm like, it could be like kind of a beat up, Boba Fett.
Right.
Yeah.
But he's experienced, so he wouldn't be. I think the description said down on his luck.
He's over his head, over his head,
and over his head. Yeah, I don't think Boba.
Talking
would
about
be.
the kid, Toro.
Yeah,
Toro.
Toro. Yeah,
He's bull.
Calican.
Calican. It escapes us every time.
I think of the calico cat and
Calico critters.
Calico critters.
Stay on target.
Stay on target. Oh man.
Yeah. So overall, for me, I'd say this episode, certain parts were still a 10, or were still like an 11. But
Cool.
I would say that probably dipped down to like an 8 in some,
An 8?
in some scenes. Just to be perfectly honest, I just too
Yeah.
heavy-handed with certain
Well,
things.
it's interesting the things that take each of us out of the show sometimes. For me, it was 4 when some of the acting got to me. I was like, or maybe the script it just didn't feel polished. It takes you out of it at times, and the things like it felt more like Star Trek-y in the matching costumes and the whatever. But it's just weird how
Fire Nation.
the Fire Nation.
Everything changed when the Fire Nation.
I love that line.
Literally the first thought that popped in my head.
That's
Good
perfect.
Show. That's a good show, though. Also, Dave Filoni worked on that show.
Oh wow.
Did he really?
Yeah, he
maybe,
did. He directed.
Maybe that was
And
the,
also-
inspiration.
The gal, what was her name? In this one, that was the mechanic.
Oh no.
Our
we
our
didn't
fact
say that.
checker found out or called out that she was from Elf,
Yeah, the movie Elf, which
Jon Favreau directed.
Yep.
Elf, and
It's
it's,
all
who was
connected.
she in that?
she was the secretary
Yeah.
for the dad,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Okay,
Right?
what?
Isn't that?
And that's when he got in the office, and he was like, Francisco. That's fun to say. It wasn't around
He's
that.
like, I like your dress. It's so purpley. And she's like, well, thank you.
That's right.
That's
yeah.
her. Right?
That's her. Yeah.
Nailed it.
Elf. It's a good time of year to watch Elf. If you
Yeah.
want to go watch a good
a great
Christmas
movie.
movie,
Yeah, it
it's
is.
a classic.
Classic.
That
And the
every year.
soundtrack from that movie.
Yeah.
See, we talk about other things other than Star Wars.
Right, yeah.
Still kind of.
That's the first time I point that out. Pretty
We're
soon
not
I'm just
staying on
pretty
target.
soon I'm just gonna knock out this all things a show about Star Wars.
Yeah, right.
Because that's basically what this has been. But
Yeah.
when Star Wars Mandalorian slows down, we won't be digging in. That's
Right,
why
yeah.
it's about all things. Because Star Wars is infused into our popular culture and our lives.
Yeah.
But we talk about other things,
Mm-hmm.
like Elf.
Like
Like Elf.
which is good.
What were we gonna say?
I forget now.
Okay.
Again, it's the second time I forgot a point that I was gonna make.
Well, I interrupted you.
No, that's totally fine. I interrupt everybody all the time because I'm weird.
This is true.
I did want to get to, before the end, we were going to talk about our favorite movies from the
Yes.
Star Wars universe. It's a good time. I'm going to try and watch most of them before The Rise of Skywalker comes out. Because they're on Disney Plus, it's cool to just go click, 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 click. I did see that they just added, Dustin, you'll be excited, The Last Jedi is in Disney Plus now. And Solo is there too. It was
Oh,
on
yeah, that's a
Netflix
good one.
only. And I don't know, I haven't checked to see if it's still on Netflix, but they have all 8 movies, including Rogue One and Solo, so that's 10, whatever, on Disney Plus now. So you can literally go binge watch if you want to, 1 to 8 plus Rogue One
That is
plus
cool.
Solo, right there without having to do anything except click however you scroll around your TV or on your phone.
Yep.
So
Which is
it's crazy.
Which is something that Nick and I were talking about a little bit too. Was what do you guys think is the best way to watch all of the movies? In
Ooh,
what
the order.
Yeah.
We could almost dedicate a whole show to
We
that.
probably
we
could.
could.
Also, a whole show to our absolute our ranking our films, which I think we might get
Yeah.
into.
We wanted to
later,
get
so
into
stick
that,
around.
but that might be a whole other episode on its own. Maybe we can
Yeah.
do a special episode on
But-
that one.
Yeah. Do you want to move into our last little bit?
Yeah, but we were gonna do a simpler version of that, right?
basically.
Yep.
So each trilogy, we're gonna go through the prequels, the original trilogy, and the sequel era, which Dustin's calling the Disney Star Wars era.
Disney Star Wars.
Yeah. So let's start with the prequel era.
Okay.
Which one out of the prequels? So you got Phantom Menace, and you've got Attack of the Clones, and you've got Revenge of the Sith. Which one out of those 3 would be your favorite?
Ooh.
For me,
Go ahead.
I'll
Yeah,
just
go
say
ahead.
it. It's probably just barely still the Phantom Menace.
Wow.
Really?
Yep. Just
That's not exactly what I was thinking. you were
Nope.
gonna say.
I know. So I'm a little weird like that.
Yeah.
But Darth Maul to
Strange.
me is pretty spectacular
Yeah.
as far as a villain, and the Duel of the Fates music is one of the greatest things, which they did release in that TV spot. Did you see that? There was a
No.
TV spot with Duel of the Fates playing.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that's
An
right.
updated
Yeah.
Duel of the Fates, or
Ooh.
yeah,
Rise
a
of
section
Skywalker.
of it in the Rise
That's
of
worth
TV
that's
spot.
worth watching.
You
the Rise
gotta
of
watch that
Skywalker.
TV spot, yeah, and
Maybe.
so, but that's all that stuff. They said John Williams is gonna potentially weave all of the themes into the Rise of Skywalker.
That might be the
be
single
nice.
most
If-
excited thing I am for that movie.
And when it comes to The Last Jedi, part of my hook on that movie is the music is
yes.
so good.
I cannot argue
the
with you there.
moments that, you know, whether or not the story works or what have you, the music of that in that movie and some of the cinematography is just unbelievable. But
I can't
anyway.
argue with that.
yeah,
and
so
I
Phantom
agree.
Menace for me. What about you guys?
Okay, I would have to say, hands down, Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
Just
That's what I
because-
thought Dan was gonna say.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Because it's, it just wraps up that whole arc in
Mhm.
all three movies, and you see Anakin turn to the dark side finally, which
Yeah.
you knew was gonna happen,
Right.
but it was really I think it was done well,
Yeah.
and executed well in film. It when he gets his arm and legs chopped off, it was kind of, I was like, it's kind of cheesy,
but they had to do it.
but yeah, they
right?
had to do it. But it's just got so much emotion.
Oh yeah,
in that scene.
Yeah,
I will
That-
not. I'm not ashamed
Yeah.
to admit I cried when I watched that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because he has so much
Hit-
hate for Obi-Wan, but then Obi-Wan's like, "You were my
that-
brother, and I loved you."
Yeah, those lines.
And it's
right
just
there,
like,
man,
Mm,
gets you right in
right
the
in the
feels.
feels.
Right in the
Right in the
feels.
Beskar.
yeah, right in the Beskar bars.
The acting in that movie, though, yeah,
I-
was by Ewan McGregor, especially in those moments,
Oh,
was
yeah.
just
He-
top notch.
Yeah.
Just-
He is.
He really
is
made
almost-
them.
Yeah,
Those
honestly, the prequels. He's probably one of my favorite characters,
Yeah.
if not the favorite character
Yeah.
of all of Star Wars. Is Obi-Wan.
I would have
for
to
me,
agree.
and his acting, and that's why I'm so
Yeah.
excited for.
The Obi-Wan,
Obi-Wan
series.
series.
Yeah.
We might have to do a show on that one.
We
Oh, yeah,
will.
we
We
will.
will. But
Definitely.
he will
You haven't seen
anchor
The
that
Last of Us.
show. He's an amazing actor.
He's
Yeah.
amazing.
It doesn't matter what
he
he's
made
in.
he made
just
so much of
owns
that.
it.
Yeah, but I agree. Sorry, finish
Yeah.
up what you were thinking about.
Oh no! And it just it just tied all the story together, and it it made you realize who Darth Vader was.
Yeah,
he
they.
finally becomes Darth Vader.
Yeah,
And, yeah,
I agree. I think for me, I think that the best executed and probably best story film of the prequels is that one is probably one of the best.
Yeah.
I mean that in some ways does. I think it's almost on par with the original trilogy.
yeah,
Revenge
I'd
of the
say.
Sith.
Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
It is very well done.
Mhm.
I agree completely.
Mhm.
I think and also because it was the third one they were making, they were
Yep.
getting things down a lot more. The story was there. There was a lot of emotions tied up with things. There's big action sequences. That first action sequence in that movie
Mm-hmm.
where they're flying the ships,
yeah,
Yeah.
that is awesome.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is one of the
It
best
was epic.
Yeah.
scenes ever in Star Wars. One of them.
Mhm.
But my favorite, though, if I'm gonna be honest, is the same one as yours. The Phantom Menace,
Really.
even though it has so many flaws, and I fully admit that it has lots of flaws,
Yeah.
but it's my favorite of the prequels just for the fact of the Duel of the Fates
Yeah.
fight scene.
Yep.
That-
Well, and you were like a
I was-
10-year-old
yeah, I
kid.
was like
It
a
came out
right.
in '99.
it hit me perfectly.
Yeah. You were the age that was targeted
I
right for.
practically memorized that fight scene
Yep.
between Obi-Wan, Darth Maul, and Qui-Gon. And I like Qui-Gon quite a bit. I thought
Yeah.
he was really cool. Plus another green lightsaber. I'm a
Right.
sucker
Yeah.
for green lightsabers. I
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
green lightsabers. But that one's my favorite. I mean, it just hit me at the right time. There's
Yeah.
so much going for that one for me.
Yep. You like Jar Jar.
I didn't
No, I'm just kidding.
see for me again, I was
Yeah.
a kid.
Yep. Jar
So
Jar
it
worked for
actually
that
worked
age.
for me at
Yep.
that age.
All right.
Because it was goofy and it kind of took a little bit of the serious notes out of Star Wars, so not everything was so
Right.
heavy
Yeah.
for a kid. So
Yeah.
I don't hate Jar Jar, but I understand the criticism of Jar Jar.
Right.
I still think they should have made him the ultimate villain.
Oh my
Right.
gosh.
That would
I think they should have
epic.
been made. I
Yeah.
think they should have made him Plagueis.
It was just the writing of the way they
Yeah.
did it and the way they
Yeah.
put
I
him in
think
there.
he
But that was
backed off. I think he might have been I still hold on to the theory that was actually the intent.
Right.
Because there are too many
Darth
things.
Jar Jar.
There are too many things that add up. And he actually said, the actor
Ahmed Best
said that they actually they filmed a scene where Jar Jar and Palpatine are talking about some serious things.
Yeah.
So he filmed the scene.
Yeah.
I think what happened though was they got cold feet from the backlash of Jar Jar, and then they just were like, "Okay, no, we can't do that."
Yeah.
So then they introduced more new villains. Anyway, we can talk about that.
A little reactionary.
But that's my favorite. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
For
Good
the
call.
prequels.
Good call.
Mhm.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
So we'll go quicker through the next two, but
Wait, you want to do them all right now, or do you just want?
let's leave it at that. That's
just leave
good.
it at
Let's
that.
leave it at that.
Yeah.
Next time we'll go through the original trilogy, maybe,
See which one's our favorite.
and then we'll end it with Disney
Yeah.
because it'll be the week of the rise.
Yep.
The week of the rise.
Week of the Rise.
Week of the Rise.
Segue though, you saw I heard Ahmed Best is doing a Disney Plus show for kids.
Oh, really?
Cool.
Yeah. Based
Jar
on
Jar?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think he's
But
gonna.
he is going to host. It's like the show from the '90s. I can't think of the name of it
Reading
now. Nope.
No.
It's
Reading
it's a game show. A game
Oh,
show from the
game
'90s. Like remember like Nickelodeon's. No,
Oh, the
Disney had their own version,
Nickelodeon.
but Disney had their own kids shows. But it was like it was
like slime.
yeah, like
some-
slime.
Slime
Those
Time?
kinds of shows where they had like two people
That
and they
was a show.
kind of climbed the big like tower.
Is there slime?
Fact checker,
Was it
fact
like
checker,
the
what's the name of the
jungle one?
show?
Was it like the jungle one?
Yeah, it was the jungle one. And
Oh,
there's a pair of people, and then they had to cross a
Jungle one.
bridge
Yeah.
and do some physical
Yeah,
challenges.
yeah, yeah.
And
they'd like it was like a temple thing, wasn't
yeah,
it?
yeah, temple something.
It's
yeah,
temple. I've
Um,
watched that. I remember that as a kid. That was
I have
awesome.
Yeah.
no
show.
memory of this.
So they're redoing it.
They're redoing that. I like that one. That was a cool show.
plus-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Never heard of it.
Anyway, I should have thought of this.
Anyway,
I have. I don't
but
know.
yeah, so
Star
he's doing
Wars.
that.
Yeah, Star Wars Jedi Temple Challenge.
Jedi
Oh.
Temple.
So it must have been called Temple Challenge or something
yeah,
like
it was
that. but-
Temple something, I think.
Yeah, but Jedi Temple
Jedi
Challenge.
Temple. Oh, I like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, so
that's
that's
cool. That's even cooler.
I'm glad they're
Still in
bringing
love with
Ahmed
Star
Best
Wars.
I am
back
glad.
because you think about the kids now, well, that were fans of his, are
Well, that's
your
what George
age now.
Lucas said.
Yeah,
He
they'll be-
told Ahmed
they will
Best.
love you, and
He said that
yeah.
all the kids that grow up watching you, he's like, some people might not like you now. Basically, I don't know if he
Yeah.
said those exact words.
Right.
Don't quote me.
he
but
said,
then-
"Don't worry about the hate now."
But
'cause
yeah, he
time
said
will, time
in-
will age them out.
Yeah, whenever these kids
Yep.
grow up, they'll remember you and love you.
Exactly.
And it's true. I do like Ahmed Best.
Yeah, and now all those people like you and Nick or whoever else,
I don't know. About
have kids
Nick.
of their own.
Yeah,
but
I didn't really care for. I didn't really care for Jar.
maybe
Jar.
not Nicholas.
I was younger.
Nicholas.
I
Yeah.
was like, it's kind of.
Well,
dumb.
that was a good way to sum it up here today on
Yeah.
Stay on Target.
Stay
I
on
think-
target.
I think we made it through an
Oh.
entire live show. It feels kind of weird. Like
Yeah.
I'm the engineer, so I have to like make sure everything's working, and I
Yeah.
think it is working. And when it's working, I
going
don't know
good.
what to do.
Yeah.
right.
I'm like, I need to change something.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah. So
Jazz hands.
we got some fun things in store and
Yeah.
ideas for these live streams. So
Yeah.
hopefully, the more we do them, the better we'll get, and more comfortable, and more people will tune in. And
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
probably do different times. I don't know if it's going to be a weekly, every Friday night thing, but we might do some different stuff, and we'll still
Yeah.
make some funny videos, and some of them will be probably pre-taped, depending like Christmas season or something.
Yeah.
But special guests, who knows?
We
All
have one in
kinds of
mind.
good
We
stuff.
do.
We got
But-
one in mind.
But yeah, stay tuned.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching this whole podcast. Tell your friends, like and subscribe again. Tell us what you liked. Tell us what you didn't like. We
Yeah.
can always improve. We're looking to make this the best show that we can. So
Absolutely.
yeah, keep commenting. Stay out there. We love it. Our stay on target fan base.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
still got to figure out
All two of you.
I like the Targeteers. That's pretty
the
cool.
targeteers.
target-
The Targeteers. We got
Alright.
5 people on right now, so hey, we're
Nice.
more
Yeah.
people than in this room.
Nice.
That's pretty impressive.
That is pretty good.
That's pretty
Yeah.
good.
For us.
Yeah.
Yeah, for us.
Starting off.
We're
It's
starting
fun.
you
off.
know. 3's a crowd, you know.
Yeah.
Five's a
Four's the number.
stadium.
Okay, stay on target.
Stay on target.
Stay on
Okay,
target.
Well, we'll normally I edit the ending, but I think we're just gonna sign off here.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
So Dan,
yeah, I'm Dan.
That's Dustin.
I'm Dustin, and that's Nick.
And
Yeah,
that's
that's me.
That's Nick.
Thanks for
I'm
watching,
Nick.
everybody.
Thanks for
Yeah,
watching.
Thanks.
We'll see you on the next
Peace
one.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see you
we'll see you
later.
next episode. Enjoy if you haven't watched it yet, and let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Stay on target.
Stay on target.
Stay on target.
Stay on target.
Loosen up.
They came from behind. It's like popping popcorn.